So there will be a tray inside the column. Okay, so there will be a equilibrium balance between the vapor and liquid there. Yeah, so this is our topic for today. But before starting the class, yeah, I would like to remind you regarding your online attendance at academic.itb ACID. Yeah, please check your attendance there by online. Okay, and then after that we will start about the how to evaluate the distillation column, for example. Okay, first I would like to start with the presentation. Yeah, to give you a background, to give you to remind you about something that you have to understand first before we start our case study for today by using the Aspen HYSYS, because Aspen HYSYS already have a special function or special evaluation method regarding the evaluation of the hydrodynamic of the column. Yeah. Okay. Related with the separation column. Yeah. You already learned about the two-phase separator or three-phase separator. Yeah. We already know how to evaluate that kind of two-phase separator of three-phase separator actually by understanding the resident times. Yeah. So by knowing the resident times, you will know that the volume of the separator will be enough or not. Yeah, to treat such amount of fluid, whether gas or in liquid phase. Yeah. So this one is for the two-phase separator. So the important term for the two-phase separator or three-phase separators is related with the resident times or separation time. Yeah. How about in terms of the distillation column? Actually, not only distillation column, okay, there are other term of the column that known by using the tray packing. For example, the fractionation column and also the adsorption or what is there are two type of adsorption and by using the liquid and also adsorption by using the solid. Yeah, in our case we will learn about how to deal with the absorption in the liquid phase where there are tray there, so there will be a equilibrium between gas and liquid or between gas and the liquid, yeah, inside the column, yeah, for the separation process. Yeah, so this evaluation, yeah, applied for the absorption column by using tray. Yeah, it's a liquid solvent. Okay, and also for the distillation column or fractionation. Yeah, and then first I would like to discuss about how to deal with the distillation column. Yeah, first that we have to learn how they define the operating condition for the distillation column. Yeah, and I believe that these things actually already you already learned in the what is process design. Yeah, how to define the operating condition for the column distillation column. Yeah, the first thing that you have to know is actually about the bubble point pressure. Yeah, this is very important. Yeah, to know about the bubble point pressure, because by knowing the bubble point pressure, so you will know about how to condense your product. Yeah, the term of condensation, it's mean that you will deal with the top product. Yeah, because in the condenser or the top product, yeah, you have to condense all of the vapor coming from the top of the column, yeah, goes to the condenser and then you condense that, yeah, that fluid. Yeah, so in the top column, yeah, the important parameters is understanding about the condition how to change the phase from the vapor into the liquid. Okay. So in this case, the bubble point will be very important. Why should be bubble point? Because in the case that the bubble point can be achieved, so it means that you can have 100% of condensation. It means that is, if you have a vapor, yeah, you will be able to condense 100% of that vapor into the liquid. So you have to know about the bubble point condition. Yeah. So in the case of the bubble point condition, there will be two parameters, yeah, pressure and temperature. Yeah. In terms of temperature, we are limited by the existence of the cooling agent. Yeah, as you know that there will be only three cooling agents that we have: cooling water, yeah, air cooler, and refrigerant. Yeah. If you're able to use cooling water, for example, or air cooler, for example, because the price is quite cheap to afford that cooling water and air cooler, so please select that kind of the cooler agent. Yeah, because why? Because the price is very cheap. Yeah, if you don't have any choice, yeah, for example, the requirement of the condensation temperature or bubble point temperature is too low, yeah, yes, you can go to the refrigeration, but the refrigeration is the last option. Yeah, the first and the second option is should be whether you will use the cooling water or air cooler. Yeah, because they are available in the cheaper price. Yeah. So that is the reason, yeah, in the first box, the first top box, yeah, you will see that there will be a bubble point at 49 degrees C. Yeah, 49 degrees C, it means that this is the condensation temperature when you are using air cooler or cooling water as the cooling agent. Okay. So the first that you have to think is related with the pressure of the top column or the pressure of the bubble point at the temperature of 49 degrees C. Yeah. If that pressure is too high, yeah, probably the pressure is above 100 bar or 200 bar, which is very impossible for us to provide that kind of very high pressure. Yeah, so we can shift a bit. Yeah, we will think not a bubble point, but we will think about dew point. Dew point means that the condensation will not be 100% transformed from the vapor into liquid. Yeah, it could be partial condensation. Yeah, for example, only 40%, only 30%, only 20% of the vapor that coming to the condenser, it will be condensed. Yeah. Why we have to think about the dew point? Because in the case that the bubble point too high, the term of the pressure of the bubble point is too high, okay, it will be very costly. So to reduce the pressure, yeah, so we move a bit to the dew point condition. It is similar with the previous, that in the case of a dew point condition, the temperature that we select is around 49 degrees C. Why is 49 degrees C? Again, yeah, in order for us enable to use the cooling water or air cooler. Yeah, so this is the reason why we select 49 degree C. Yeah, and then in the case of that dew point pressure is still too high, yeah, so we don't have any choice that we will use refrigeration in this case. Yeah, so there is guidance for you, yeah, to select about the pressure related with the condition in the top side of that column. Yeah, For example, that in the case that the pressure is still 14.8, yeah, in the case of the pressure is below 14.8, so it's mean that this you can use that kind of the operation. Yeah, you can select that kind of pressure. Yeah, but in the case that the top pressure of the condenser is higher than 25 bar, yeah, so you can move to the utilization of refrigeration. Yeah, so you can use the refrigerant as the cooling agent for the condenser. Yeah, so these things is very important. Yeah, to select about the pressure and then the temperature in the top side of the distillation column. And how about the bottom side? Yeah, in the case of the bottom side, remember that in the bottom side, yeah, it's coming in the liquid form. So to the label to the reboiler, yeah, the fluid coming in the liquid, and you have to boil that liquid into the vapor. So the duty of the reboiler in here, in the bottom side, actually to transform the phase from the liquid into the vapor phase. So the opposite of the top side of the column, which is condenser. Yeah. So in the case of that, you have to transform or to change the phase from the liquid to the vapor. Okay, you have to understand that the condition of the bottom is should be in liquid form. Yeah. So in order to achieve the liquid form, yeah, so you have to estimate, yeah, that the bottom pressure should be below the critical pressure. In the case that in the bottom column that the pressure is higher than the critical pressure, so it's mean that the vapor will be in gaseous form. So we have to avoid that one. Okay, remember that in the case of the reboiler, the fluid that coming to the reboiler should be in liquid. Okay, so to make it into liquid, so the pressure of the bottom, yeah, bottom side of the column should be lower than the critical pressure. Yeah, so you have to estimate first, yeah, about the critical pressure of that component, yeah, because every component has different the critical pressure. So again, in this case, you have to understand about the, for example, Molear diagram, pH diagram, yeah, that you will know about the what is the a kind of the doom of the what is pH diagram, and then you will understand about where is the critical point. After you know about the critical points, it means that you already know about the temperature and the pressure. Yeah, after you know about the pressure of that critical point, so just define the bottom pressure below the critical pressure. Yeah, because why? Again, because in this case, you have to make it the bottom product, it will be in liquid. And the duty of the reboiler is to vaporize or to change from the liquid into the vapor. Okay. So after you know about the pressure, yeah, so you have to think about the temperature. Yeah. So again, if the temperature of that vaporization, yeah, is higher than the critical temperatures, what you have to do, you have to think to reduce again the pressure of the bottom side. Yeah, until you achieve the temperature of the bottom, yeah, it's mean that temperature of the reboiler is lower than the critical temperature. Yeah, so this is the idea how to select the operating condition for the distillation column. Yeah, why we have to think about that one? Because we have to think also about the utility that we will use. For example, cooling water, air cooler, or refrigerant, or the type of the heating media that we will use. For example, we will use a steam, or we have to provide the hot oil on etc. Yeah, so the guidance is shown in this schematic block. Yeah, to select the correct pressure and then the correct temperature for the top side and also for the bottom side. Okay. Okay, this is the guidance, and then I believe you already have this knowledge regarding how to define the minimum number of stage or reflux ratio minimum, yeah, and then actual reflux ratio, yeah, in the diffusional class, yeah. So I will not repeat this again. This is just the calculation how to calculate the minimum stage of the operation. Yeah, actually it's by using Fenske equation. Yeah, and then for the minimum reflux, yeah, you have to use the Underwood equation, and then the Gilliland for theoretical stage. Yeah, and then the inlet, the optimum inlet stage for that distillation column, yeah, calculated by using Kirkbride equation. Okay, I just show. Okay, this is the main point, main important that we will learn for today. Actually, that when you operate the distillation column, yeah, you have to understand about the hydrodynamic of the column. Yeah, what is the meaning of the hydrodynamic? It is almost similar concept with the compressor. Yeah, that when you operate the compressor, it's required to be operated in the safe window. Yeah, similar with the compressor. In the case of the operation of tray column, they also have the operation window. Okay, the operation window that I mentioned is shown in this figure. Okay, this figure show you about the uh, optimum or safe operation of the tray column, okay, to be operated in terms of hydrodynamic. Okay. Why I mention about the hydrodynamic? Because it's depend on the ratio of the liquid and vapor. Yeah. So because there is a term of the liquid and the vapor, so we will deal about the hydrodynamic. Yeah. This figure or this graph is consists from the x and y axis, where the x-axis is the liquid rate. Yeah, so this one is the liquid rate. While in the y-axis is related about the vapor rate. Yeah, you can see in here the y-axis is a vapor rate. Okay, and then this operating window, yeah, is limited by, for example, yeah, there is a bottom line in here. Yeah, and the below line, this one is known as the whipping condition. Yeah, whipping it's mean that is, yeah, if you see from this figure, yeah, actually the vapor rate is very low. Yeah, and then sometimes you have a moderate or very high in terms of the liquid rate. Yeah, in that case, yeah, the vapor rate will not be able to maintain, yeah, the liquid not coming from the whole of the tray column. Yeah, because the vapor rate is too small or too low. Yeah, the liquid can penetrate through the hole, go down from the top side to the bottom side, not coming from the downcomers, yeah, but is also able to go down from the hole. This is actually not ideal condition. Why? Yeah, because the way of the liquid go down from the top side to the bottom side, it should be through the downcomers only, yeah, not through the whole side of the tray column, yeah. But again, yeah, because the vapor rate is too low, yeah, to protect or to avoid that condition, yeah, so the liquid can goes down from the whole of the tray, yeah. So this is the whipping condition. Again, whipping condition is one of condition that we have to avoid during the operation of the distillation column, yeah. Another thing that we have to avoid is related with the condition of flooding. Yeah, flooding, it's mean that in this case, yeah, the number of the liquid and also the number of the vapor is quite high, yeah, more than the capacity of that column, okay. So the liquid cannot go down because why? Because the gas also has a very high in terms of volume, yeah, because of at the bottom very lot of gas coming, so it is very difficult for the liquid to go down, yeah. Again, in the same volume that you have the more in terms of the gas, so the pressure it will be higher, yeah. And then if the bottom pressure is higher than the hydrodynamic pressure of the liquid, yeah, so the liquid goes down is because of hydrodynamic gravitational, yeah. But in the case of the bottom pressure, due to the presence of the very lot amount of gas is quite big or quite a lot there, so it can create the higher pressure, yeah. So in the case that the high pressure in the bottom side, so the liquid cannot go down. This is called as the flooding, yeah. Again, that condition also we have to avoid, yeah, in order to not or to operate the operation in the good manner, yeah. And then there is another condition that we have also to avoid. For example, entrainment. What happened in the case of the entrainment? In this case, yeah, the liquid rate is very small, okay, but the vapor rate is quite very high, yeah. So the opposite from the condition of the whipping, yeah, the vapor rate is very high, but the liquid is very small, yeah. So in that case, because the gas, yeah, will go from the bottom side to the top side, yeah, they are available in the lot of amount of the gas and then small of amount of liquid, yeah. So it's kind of the jet when the gas pass through the whole of the tray, yeah. And then that gas will be able to bring, okay, the liquid, yeah, back to the top of the tray, yeah. So again, that the liquid should go from the top tray to the bottom tray, yeah. But in this case, because the vapor is too high, yeah, the velocity is too high due to the high in term of volume, yeah. So they can go pass through the whole of the tray in the very high term of the speed, yeah. And that speed can will be able to bring the liquid, yeah, back from the below tray to the what is top tray, yeah. Again, that can make a problem, yeah, because as you know that the tray is the place where the contact between liquid and the gas. So it's mean that this one tray, it's mean that's one equilibrium. So you if you bring back the liquid from the below tray to the top tray, it's mean that there will be a change in terms of the equilibrium, yeah. So again, we have to avoid also the condition that has the entrainment in this chart, yeah. And then also we have the downcomer chokes or downcomer backup. Why? Because in this case the liquid is too high, yeah, the liquid too high, so the your downcomers is not enough, yeah, your downcomer is not enough to flow the liquid through that downcomers. Yeah, probably because the downcomers hole is too small, and then your liquid is too high, yeah, so the amount is the volume is very big, so because the hole is too small, so it's not enough to flow all of the liquid through that downcomer. So there will be increment of the level of the liquid in the downcomers, that's called as the downcomer choke or downcomer backup. Yeah. So the safe condition for the hydrodynamic operation of distillation column actually in this gray color. Yeah, so you have to operate, yeah, in the this gray color. So almost similar with the compressor. Yeah, so you mean that in the case of the compressor, you have to operate in the safe region, which is limited by that yeah, limited condition. Okay, so this kind of the similar situation with the distillation column, yeah, you have to operate it to avoid that kind of the problematic hydrodynamic condition. Yeah. This is the I give you the schematic diagram or schematic figure of a tray column. Yeah. For example, in here we have a tray. Yeah. The tray consists of yeah, many holes. Yeah. Which is that the hole is used for the gas from the bottom side to the top side. Okay, and then liquid coming from the downcomers. Yeah, this is the downcomers. Yeah, and then the downcomers will bring the liquid. Yeah, and pass through the tray system. There will be a contact between liquid and gas in here. Yeah, so it can create the regime so-called froth. Yeah, froth regime is mean that is there will be a good contact between liquid and gas in the top of the or the surface of the tray column. Okay, and then yeah, the liquid, yeah, will go to the okay, in the other side of the downcomers. Yeah, from here the example is coming from the left to the right. Yeah, and then again, yeah, it will go down to the right side of the downcomers and go to the next the below tray. Yeah, how about the gas? The gas is just coming from the bottom to the top and through the whole of the tray. Yeah, and then in the case of that downcomers backup, okay, the one that I mentioned related with the problem hydrodynamic problem of downcomers backup, okay, in the downcomers backup or downcomers chokes, yeah, it's mean that the liquid level is very high. Yeah, it's very high. It can reach the top side of the column or the top side of the tray. Yeah, in general, we maintain the level of the liquid in the downcomers is around 70 to 80%. Yeah. So imagine when you have the length of the downcomer, for example, 100 centimeters. Yeah. So the level of the liquid is maintained only 70 or 80 centimeters. Yeah. But in the case of the downcomer backup or downcomer choke, yeah, the liquid level could be higher than that. Yeah, and sometimes it can be more than 100 centimeters. So it means that the liquid, yeah, also higher than the weight of these downcomers. Yeah, so it's mean that this there will be a problem related how to flow the liquid from the downcomers. Yeah. In the case of the whipping, the one that I mentioned, that the gas volume is not high enough, yeah, to push the liquid not coming from this hole. So it's mean that there will be a liquid, yeah, will go down from the top tray to the bottom tray, but they go down through this hole. Yeah, so that's called of weeping. Yeah, in the case of the flooding, the liquid level above the tray is higher than the weir. So it's mean that there will be a lot of liquid, yeah, above the tray. The problem of the flooding is it will make a difficulty for the gas to pass through and contact with the liquid. Why? Because the thickness of the liquid, yeah, is more than normal condition. So it will be difficult for the gas to penetrate to that very thickness of that liquid inside the tray. Yeah. So again, yeah, in the case of the flooding, it will also create a problem. Usually, in the case of the flooding, yeah, the pressure drop of the column it will be very high. So it means that the bottom will have the higher in term of pressure, yeah, but in the top side this will be have a low pressure in term of low pressure in the top side. Why? Yes, because the gas accumulated in the bottom, yeah, it create high pressure, yeah, but because the gas is has a difficulty to penetrate through the thick of that liquid thickness inside the tray, yeah, so they cannot go up, yeah, and again, yeah, because very small amount of the gas inside the top side of the column, yeah, it means that the pressure will be very low there, yeah, in the top column. So the pressure drop again it will be very low, yeah, in the top side. Okay, I think it is enough for the background of this hydrodynamic evaluation of the distillation column. Okay, do you have any question regarding this explanation? Yeah, before we start about our case study.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
You explained about flooding, right? But
Yeah.
what is jet flooding?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. How about jet flooding? Okay. Jet flooding is similar with liquid entrainment. Yeah. In the case of jet flooding, yeah, the volume of the liquid is very small. Yeah, it's mean that, yeah, you can imagine the thickness of the liquid in this tray. Yeah, it again is also very thin. Yeah, when you have very high in term of the gas, yeah, so it means that you have a very high volume of the gas inside this area, yeah. So it's mean that the velocity of the gas pass through this hole, yeah, the gas will have very high in term of the velocity. Yeah. Why? Because the hole will have the same size. It will not change. Yeah. Also, the volume of the gas or the volume of the chamber in here, yeah, will not change as well. But you have very high in terms of the volume of the gas inside this chamber. What happened there? If you have a very high in terms of volume, but the size of the chamber is the same, the size of the hole is also the same, okay? So it's mean that the velocity of the gas pass through this hole, it will have a higher in terms of the velocity normal condition, okay? That's called as the jet. Yeah, the term of the jet is coming from the high velocity when the gas pass through the hole of the tray. Okay, and then how about the liquid entrainment? Yeah, the liquid entrainment means that, yeah, because the level or the thickness of the liquid in this tray is very, very thin, okay, and then the velocity of the gas pass through the hole is very high, there is a possibility, okay, that gas will bring again the liquid from this tray back to the above tray. Okay, again because the thickness of the liquid is too small or too thin, yeah, they will able to bring back the liquid from this tray to the above tray. Okay, this become a problem. Why? Because, for example, in in the above tray, yeah, the equilibrium is already occur very good, yeah, so it will spirit between the pure gas, for example, and then dirty liquid. Okay, dirty, it's mean that is, for example, the higher hydrocarbon will go through this downcomer and pass through the this tray. Okay, but again, because you have jet flooding or liquid entrainment in here, so you will bring back that dirty liquid or higher hydrocarbon liquid back to the above tray. So the separation in this above tray, yeah, will be meaningless. Yeah, you already separate between the pure gas and then dirty liquid, but because of liquid entrainment, okay, or jet flooding, okay, the gas will bring back the liquid to the above tray. Okay, so is it clear about the explanation of jet flooding or liquid entrainment?
Sir, what is downcomer flooding?
Okay, how about downcomer flooding? Okay, we have two type of flooding. Okay, tray flooding and also downcomer flooding. Okay, in the case that we have the tray flooding, so the liquid level above the tray is higher than the weir. So it means that there will be accumulation of the liquid, okay, above the tray, okay, and then it's make the liquid, okay, higher than the weir. Again, it will make a difficulty for the gas to penetrate through the tray. Okay, this is the problem of the tray flooding. Another type of the flooding is actually downcomer flooding. Okay, that flooding occur inside the downcomers. Okay, you can see in here, okay, downcomers is a way of the liquid from the overflow of this weir goes to the below tray. Okay, so there will be a level in this downcomer. Okay, usually we maintain around 70 to 80% of this level. Yeah, you can imagine from this weir to the whole of the downcomer, there is a certain level length. Okay, and usually we maintain this one. Okay, the length is around 80 or 70 to 80%. Yeah, but in the case of the downcomer flooding, the liquid level inside this downcomer will be higher than that value, higher than 80% or 70%. Yeah, it means that there will be similar with the tray flooding. There will be an accumulation of the liquid inside the downcomers. Okay, it's mean that their liquid in here, okay, will be higher than the weir. In the case that the liquid level higher than the weir, so it's mean that their liquid will be back to the tray. Okay, so that is the reason we have the downcomer flooding, sometimes called of downcomer backup, okay, or downcomer choke. Why is downcomer chokes? Because this hole, downcomer's hole, is too small. It's not able to flow all of the liquid in here, so there is an accumulation of the liquid. Yeah, so that's why they call as the choke. Okay, downcomer chokes, too small. Okay, but those terminology are actually the same. Okay, to show that there will be an accumulation of the liquid inside this downcomer more than the required level, which is 70 to 80%, higher than that. Okay, is it clear related with the downcomer flooding?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, and then wait a moment. Okay, I will send you the case that we have for today. Yeah, I forget to send you yesterday. So I will send you now. Okay, wait a moment. I will connect my WhatsApp and then I will send the case file for today. Okay, I already sent the case for today through the WhatsApp group. Okay, and then please download that case. Okay, and then we will learn for today about the utility from Aspen Hysys. Aspen Hysys already provide a utility for us to evaluate the hydrodynamic of the column. Okay, so we will use it for today. Okay, I will also open the case. Okay, this one I will reshare about the case that we have. Okay, I will share full of my screen. Okay, can you see the PDF? Okay, file related with the column evaluation. Can you see this this column, this PDF? Is it appear in your laptop?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for today, we will try to evaluate about the performance of the column, the operation performance of the column. Yeah. And we have the case that separation between the propana and propana. Okay. Propene and propane. Okay. And then this separation is usually occur in the petrochemical industry. Yeah, for example, in the Chandra Asri or in the one that occur in the TPPI, for example. And usually the column has very tall. Yeah, because as you know that the propane and then the propan, yeah, has almost similar physical property. Yeah, but we don't have any method, yeah, to separate this chemical. This chemical has almost the same of the molecular weight, almost have the same in terms of size. Yeah, so in the case that we have the almost similar in terms of molecular size, it will be difficult also to separate by using the membrane, for example. Yeah, and also that another way, yeah, for example, by using the adsorption, yeah, because it has the same property, almost have the same property, so also difficult by using the, for example, adsorption process to separate this kind of and then it's likely have different in terms of the boiling point. Yeah, so propana has a lower boiling point compared to the propan. Yeah, so in this case, the propan will be separated as the top product of the column, while the propan will be a bottom product of the column. Yeah. And then the propana is usually used for the plastic industry. Yeah. As you know about the isopropana and for the building block for the plastic industry. Yeah. It is very important. Probably the second important building block after ethylene. Yeah, ethylene is the most important building block for the plastic industry. Yeah, this is the second one. Okay, and then during the separation, we would like to have the propana purity is around 99.9%. Yeah, while propan it come from the bottom of the product with the purity of 98.1%. Yeah. So in this case, we would like to have about the evaluation whether this condition is good. Yeah. When we have the composition of the feed shown in the table number 1. Yeah. And then the flow rate as well as the pressure and temperature shown in the table number 2. Okay. And then regarding the specification of the column, yeah, the tray specification will follow table number 3. Yeah, which is that, for example, the number of tray, it can reach around 182. Yeah, so it's quite many. Yeah, so 182 stage. Yeah, for the case number 1. Yeah, how about if we define the tray spacing is around 0.6 meters with tray diameters around 6 meters. Yeah, and 7 meters for the what is the stripping case. Yeah, for the enrichment area, enrichment case, we have 6 meter in diameters, but for the stripping case, we have 7 diameter in at 7 in term of diameter. And for the case number 2, yeah, it is almost similar in terms of the tray spacing. In general, for the design, the tray spacing is maintained around 0.5 or 0.6 meter. Okay. But for the case number 2, we have different in terms of the tray diameter, which is the for the enrichment section, we have a tray diameter of 9. One for the stripping section, we have the 10.5 meter in terms of diameter. Okay. So we would like to evaluate, okay, following this condition, whether the hydrodynamic operation will be okay or not. Yeah. So this is the case. So let's start with our simulation. Okay. We will start the simulation in here. Okay. So I will start with the new file. And then how about my Aspen HYSYS? It's already appear in your screen?
Already,
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, because last week in the another class, yeah, it's come out that the HYSYS is a black, gitu ya, it appear black, and then they cannot see the, for example, the selection of the component and etc. Okay, so if it's clear in your screen, so I think it will be okay. So I will add the component. Yeah, and then the component that I will add in this case, I will follow table number 1. Yeah, so I will start with the ethane. Yeah, and then after that I will start with the propane. Yeah, propane. Okay, and then propene. Okay. And then for the butane, it will be isobutane and normal butane. Okay, and then I will search this one. For example, this one butane. Okay, one butane I have. Yeah, and then e-butane. Okay, and then the last one, it will be trans to butane. Okay, so I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 component. Okay, following the table number 1. Okay, and then for the fluid package, okay, in the fluid package, I will add the Peng Robinson as the fluid package. Okay, following the suggestion from the HYSYS that we will, if in the case that we will use the hydrocarbon, so Peng Robinson and Soaf Radicon will be the best option. Yeah, and then I don't have the reaction because in this case I just want to separate the component. Yeah, so I will go directly to the simulation. Yeah, so and then I will move to the simulation. Yeah, what I have to do, I will define the component. Yeah, this one, and then I will put the composition of this component following the table number 1. Yeah, so it will be 0001. Yeah, and 1969. Yeah, and 0.8. Yeah, 0.0011. Yeah, and n button it will be 0001. Okay, and then 006. Yeah, 0011, and then 0001. Okay, the total will be 1. So it's mean that the mole fraction that I put in this table is already correct. Yeah. So I will click OK. Okay. And then for the process condition for the feed, I will follow from the table number 2. Yeah. And then in the case of the table number 2, yeah, the temperature, it will be 30 degrees C. Yeah. And then the pressure, it will be 11.8. Okay. And then for the flow rate, in terms of mole, it will have 759.32 kilomole per hour. Okay. So after defining the component, okay, intensive variable, extensive variable in here, okay, I will have the fully defined stream. Okay. And then after that, what I have to do with this one, okay, before I start with the rigorous distillation, I will do with the, for example, in this case, I will have to use the component splitter. Okay. I believe that you already learned how to use the component splitter in the process. Okay, this one is the component splitter. Yeah, in the process design class. Yeah. And then actually, I want to know about the operating condition for this one. Yeah, in which temperature, in which pressure that I have to do the separation. Yeah, and then to know about that parameter, first I have to define about the splitting condition. Yeah, splitting condition means that in which product that I will have in the what product that I have in the bottom. But for before that one, yeah, I will connect the stream. For example, the inlet is coming from the stream number 1, and the overweight will be, for example, the vapor 1, yeah, and then the bottom will be bottom 1, yeah, and then for the energy stream, I will have, for example, QX100. This case. Okay. It's mentioned unknown split, so we can go to the split in here. Yeah. From this component, yeah. So the ethane, it will be the lightest, yeah, the lightest component. So it will go to the Fab1 as the top product. So all of the ethane will be go to the top product. Yeah, so I will put the value of 1. Yeah, and then how about the propane? Okay, the propan, it will be bottom, but for the propane, yeah, it will be in the top. So it will be 1 in here, but in 1 in here, yeah, in the bottom for the propan, and the others, yeah, because the heavier than the propan, so it will be in the bottom. Yeah, for example, for the butane, yeah, also for the terbutane. So by defining this one, so I already define, yeah, which product will go to the top and which product will be go from the bottom, yeah. And then after that, I will go to the parameter, yeah. The parameter in here, yeah, will tell you about the operating condition that you have to provide for this operation. Yeah, for example, in the case of the bottom, yeah, the bottom has duty to vaporize all of the liquid that coming from the bottom of the column. Yeah, so it's mean that is because I have to vaporize all of this one. Yeah, so the vapor fraction is should be, I think, should be 1. yeah, because I have to evaporate all of that liquid. Yeah. How about in the case of the vapor? The case of the vapor, if it's possible, I would like to condense all of the vapor that I have, because from the top product, yeah, or the top column, the vapor will go to the condenser. The condenser has the duty actually to change the phase from the vapor phase to the liquid phase. Yeah, so it's mean that probably I can put a 0 in here. Yeah, so it's mean that all will be in liquid. Yeah, and then how about in term of the pressure? In term of the pressure, yeah, I will look at the pressure of this operation. Yeah, we have 11.8. Yeah, so it's mean from the pressure of the bottom, yeah, it will be slightly lower than the inlet pressure. Yeah, because if it's higher pressure, so it's mean that the liquid cannot go to the bottom. So it's mean that we have to reduce a bit, yeah, the inlet pressure in order allow the material goes to the bottom side of the column. So if we have that inlet pressure alone 11.8, probably in here that we can have, for example, that 11.5. Okay. And then how about in the vapor, how about is in the Fab 1? Yeah, it should be the lowest pressure of the column. Yeah. Why? Because it's contain of the gas. Yeah. So if the gas in the top is the higher pressure, so the gas cannot go to the top. Yeah. So the top column should has the lowest pressure. Yeah. So in here probably we can set when we have the pressure drop, total pressure drop is around 1 bar. So we can set the pressure at the top of the column is around 10.5, for example.
Sir,
Yes,
isn't everything in the bottom, the vapor fraction is supposed to be 0?
in the vapor fraction in the bottom, it should be 0. Yes, actually, it's depend on your condition, because what is in the withdrawal of the product, it will be in the liquid. So it's not actually that should be 100% in the vapor, yeah. Because in the case that you have the vapor condition, yeah. For example, this one. If you have thermosiphon, yeah, thermosiphon is kind of it's different from the reboiler. In the case of the reboiler, you have to boil 100% of the liquid coming to the reboiler. Okay, so the product that you return back to the column, it will be in 100% vapor. But in the case of thermosiphon, yeah, so there are many type of the what is the reboiler. There is also a type of the thermosiphon. Thermosiphon, yeah, is not 100% vapor. Yeah, there is like slightly amount of the liquid present when you return back the liquid, yeah, or the fluid from the reboiler back to the column. Yeah, so it's depending on the type of the reboiler that you will use for the operation. Okay, but if you use the pure reboiler, so it means that it should be 100% of the liquid will be go to will become the vapor. So is it clear? So this
But sir,
value
in
is
this,
deep.
but isn't in this case you have a bottoms product, and the bottoms product should be liquid, while all the vaporized one is recycled back?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I understand about your question. Yeah, the condition that I will about this one, the condition that I mentioned in this is actually that the condition that I have to provide the heating for the operation from the liquid to the vapor. Yes, it is correct that in the bottom you will have product in liquid. Is it correct? Yeah, but I have a duty to change the phase, yeah, from the liquid to the vapor. So it's mean that, yeah, to know about the operation in which temperature that I have to provide, yeah, in order to change the vapor, the liquid coming to rebobbiler into the vapor. So I have to set, yeah, the vapor fraction in the reboiler it should be 1. So it's mean that this will be the highest temperature that I have to provide, yeah, in the reboiler in order to change the phase of the liquid into the vapor. Yeah, so it's what is not related with the product that you have. Yes, I believe that the product of your in the bottom it should be in the liquid form. Yes, it's correct. But this condition I will use to look at or to find the operation condition for my reboiler to change from the liquid to the vapor one. Okay. So is it clear to you?
Oh, yes, sir.
It is similar with the Fab 1, which is the condition for the condenser. Okay. Sometimes if I set the vapor fraction 0, it means that I will use the total condenser. Sometimes the temperature in here is too low. Why? Probably because the presence of the hydrogen or the presence of the what is nitrogen, which counted as the non-condensable gas. Okay. What I have to do in that case, okay, so I cannot force to use the vapor fraction of 0. Okay. I have to limit this one, for example, into 0.5 to allow that that nitrogen, that hydrogen, not to be condensed. Okay. By allowing that nitrogen and hydrogen still in the vapor phase, so the requirement of the temperature will not be so low. Okay. This is the way that we have to find the condition for our operation. Yeah. So it's mean that is in that case, if the condenser will be used as a partial condenser, so the vapor fraction in here it should be not 0. It should be could be 0.5 or 0.4 or 0.3 depending on the amount of the nitrogen and hydrogen that you have. Yeah. So is it clear related with how to define the vapor fraction in here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. It's already clear. So the result that the temperature at the top it will be 24. Yeah. While the temperature at the bottom it will be 36. Yeah. So I will use this one. Yeah. Actually to perform, yeah, another evaluation by using so-called the shortcut distillation. Yeah, so I will do this one. Yeah, okay, I will use the shortcut distillation. Okay, I will connect still the stream number 1. Okay, and then for the condenser duty, for example, this one, QGT condenser T100, and then reboiler duty Q reboiler T100, and then for the distillate, okay, I will vapor 2, okay, because I already use vapor 1, and then this one is for bottom 2, because I already have okay. And then I will try to have a top product in the liquid. Yeah, so I will remain this one is the top product in the liquid. Yeah, and then I will evaluate about the light key and heavy key. Yeah, so the light key in the bottom. Yeah, so it means that it will be propane. By heavy key in the distillate, it will be propan. Yeah. So the light key, so it means that the lightest component in the bottom, while the heavy key, so heaviest component in the distillate. Yeah. So in this case, I will try to make it like this one. Yeah. Yeah, and then the condensation pressure. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, this one it should be 10.5. And then this one, it should be 11.5. Okay. And that one, the external reflux ratio is around minimum reflux ratio calculated is around 9. Yes, it's correct. Propane and propan is very difficult to be spirited. So it's required a lot number of reflux ratio. Okay. Yeah. So, and again, if we use rule of thumb that the external reflux ratio in between 1.2 until 1.5 times of the minimum reflux ratio. Okay, so we can calculate this one. Yeah, I will use the calculator to calculate about if I increase the external reflux ratio 1.5 times 9.457, it should produce around 15. Okay. In the case of the, I use the 15. Okay. I will go to the performance. Okay. I have the actual number of tray is around 223. Okay. While the minimum tray is around 145. Okay. Let's look at the case that we have. Okay. In the real condition, that the number of day is around 182. Yeah, so we have 182 tray. Yeah, we have still 223. So let's increase the number of the external reflux ratio, for example, until 20. Yeah, and then we have almost close to the, so we increase again, yeah, around, for example, 22. Okay, how about the performance? Okay, how about the 23? Okay, probably 24. Yeah, so around 182. Yeah, so almost similar with the real case. So it's mean that when we evaluate this one, yeah, so we understand that the reflux ratio in the current condition it's around 24. Yeah, while the minimum reflux ratio is around 9. Yeah. So it's mean that this this is almost, what is this? Around 5 times, yeah. 5 times of the reflux ratio. Yeah. Okay, we already know about the number of the tray and then the fit. Okay, the fit is not in the 81, but it's around 65. Okay, so it's okay. Okay, what I have to do now? Okay, I will do rigorous distillation. Okay, I will find the rigorous distillation. Okay, this one is three-phase distillation, reflux. Okay, which one is the distillation? Okay, this one is distillation column. Okay, and I put in here for the distillation. Okay, this one is number 1, and then the optimal stage I will put 182. Okay, for this one is 91, but it mentioned that I should put it in the 366. Okay, for the pressure of the condenser, it will be 10.5. Okay, and then for the reboiler is 11.5. Okay, and then for the condenser, it will be QGT101. Okay, for the reboiler, QRT101. Okay, so I will use not a partial, but I will use a total. Yeah, and then I will mention in here that this one is vapor 2 is already used, so I will use vapor 3, and then this one is bottom 3. Okay, and then I will monitor in here. Okay, so what I have to do is I will add spec. Okay, oh, reflux ratio in here is around, what is this one? 24. I will put this one is 24. Yeah, and then in order to allow me to set about the condenser temperature, I will add spec column temperature. I will add spec. Yeah, for example, condenser temperature located in the stage of the condenser. Yeah, the value it will be 24.35. Okay, and I will add again about the column temperature in the bottom. Okay, reboiler temperature. Okay, it will be 35.78. Okay, so I will change this one into this one. Okay, it's converts directly. Okay, and then what I have to do? Okay, I have the definition in terms of the specification. Okay, for example, in this one, that the propane purity, it should be 99.9. So I will add spec in here. Okay, I will try to find the column component fraction. Yeah, so this one is the propane at the stage of the condenser. In the liquid, I will use this one is the propane. Okay, the value, the current value is around 99.7. Okay, so this one is 99.9. Okay, so I have to increase this one around this value. Okay, what I have to do? Okay, I've checked this one and I checked one of this reflux ratio or a boiler temperature. Okay, I will try to check this one. Yeah. Okay, this one is already matched the specification. Yeah. And then the second one about the propan. Propan is around only 98.1. Okay, so I will add spec component fraction in here, which is the propan purity at the stage of the bottom. Okay, and then it should be the value, its component, it will be propan. Okay, and then the value, it should be around, oh, this one is higher than the requirement. Okay, enough for 98.1, but it's already 98.5. Okay, what I have to do, okay, I will uncheck the reboiler and then I will check this. Okay. Okay. I have converged about the simulation. Yeah, I've already obtained the propane purity around 99.9, and then the propane purity 99.9, but and also propan purity is about 98.1. Okay, so what I have to do after this? Okay, I will go to the internal. This is the new in the Aspen HYSYS 10 or in Aspen HYSYS 9 about the internal. Okay, what I have to do with this internal? Yeah, actually this is the way HYSYS to help us to evaluate about the hydrodynamic of this column. Yeah, so I will add a new section. I will add the new section. Okay, I will start from the tray number 1 until the inlet tray. Okay, so what I have to do, I will go to the connection design. This one is inlet is coming from the 66. So again, in the internal, I will start this one till the tray. Okay. And then for the tray spacing, it's already mentioned that this the height is around 0.6. While the diameter, okay, I will check in the diameter. The diameter is for the enrichment section, it is around 6 meters. I will see, this one is 6. Okay, and then I will add again. I will attach from the tray number 67 till the bottom 182. Okay, again this one has the 0.6 in terms of height, and then the diameter, it will be, what is that, 7 meters. Okay, 7 meters. Okay, now what I have to do, okay, I already put all of the tray, okay, in this table, okay, which is I split into 2 sections, enrichment section and then the stripping section. Okay, for the enrichment section, okay, the diameter is around 6 meters, while the stripping section, it will be 7 meters. Okay, and then the, I think it's not the sieve tray. It should be, it's mentioned in here. Okay, not mentioned. Okay, but it's okay. Okay. How to know about whether our evaluation is okay or not okay related with the hydrodynamic condition? You can click the view hydraulic plot in this here. Okay, by clicking that one, yeah, they will show to you. Yeah, they will show to you about the condition of the operation. Yeah, I will tell you, for example, for the enrichment section. Yeah, this is exactly the same what we have learned from the previous presentation. Yeah, that we will have in the x-axis about the liquid flow rate, while in the y-axis about the vapor flow rate. Yeah, and then the operating window is limited by weeping. This is the weeping. Okay, and then downcomers pick up. Okay, and then flooding this line, and also the entrainment. Yeah, so exactly the same. Yeah, not really the same in terms of the line. Yeah, because it's depending on the condition that we have, depending on the component that we have. Yeah, sometimes it could be straight, sometimes it could be a bit curvy. Yeah, sometimes it could be also straight line or not straight line. Yeah. How to read about this diagram or the result is this, the orange line actually your operating point, operating line. Yeah. So when you increase or reduce the flow rate, yeah, the operating line will follow this line. Yeah. But the problem is your operating point, current operating point, actually in this point, in this dot, black dot as of your operating point. It means that your operation actually is beyond, yeah, or in the outside of the safe operation window. Yeah, because your operation window actually should be inside, yeah, this window. Okay, so from this color you will know that is in all of your enrichment section, yeah, in all of your enrichment section, yeah, the condition is not safe because the color is red. Yeah, it is same with the traffic light. Yeah, the red is mean that is not okay. Yellow is mean caution, and then the green it's mean that it is perfect. Yeah, so it's now is in the red. Okay, let's look at in the stripping section. Yeah, for example, you click this one. Yeah, tray number 71. Yeah, so it's mean that it shows you that the operation point, yeah, inside the safe operation window, and also inside the, also in line with this orange line, the operating line. So it's mean that, yeah, it can be operated, yeah, it can be operated because it's already inside the safe operation window. Yeah, so because of this one. So actually we have a problem with the enrichment section. How to move this operating point inside this good operation window. Yeah. One way to do that one is actually by increasing the size of the diameter. Yeah, let's look at it, the case number 2. Yeah, let's look at the case number 2. In the case number 2, enrichment section, it should have a diameter of 9, while the enrichment stripping section, it should be 10.5. Okay, let's do that one. Change into 9. Okay, and then this one is 10.5. Okay, what you will have done in here? Okay, look at this one. When you change into the 9, okay, yes, okay, it's not above the window operation, okay, but it below the operation window. So it's mean that there will be a whipping in here. Okay. How about in the stripping section? The stripping section is the same. Okay. So it's mean that this the operation is not safe for the case number 2. Okay. So what is your suggestion in this case? Okay. Do you have any suggestion? Previously, we have diameter 7, we have condition of flooding. Now, in diameter of 9, we have a whipping. Do you have any suggestion related with this hydrodynamic operation? Anyone can help me?
Maybe you can decrease the diameter.
What is the value that you want to put in here? Previously 7 and now it's 9. Okay. Do you have any suggestion? What is good diameter in here?
Maybe 6.
6. 6. Okay, when we have 6 in here, yeah, still the okay. Oh, above the this one. Okay, my suggestion is in between. We put the 7, we have flooding. 9, we have whipping. So in between that one, probably it will be good. Okay, so try 8. Okay. Yeah. In the case of 8, what we have to do, we have to find, yeah, because we have 7, we have a flooding, 9, we have weeping, yeah. So what we have to do, we know that this the operation lies in this orange line. So when 7 is in this position, while the 9 in this position, so it between should be okay. Yeah. And now, how about the diameter? Previously, we have what is 8? If I'm not mistaken. No, 7. We have already good. Okay, 10.5. We have whipping. Okay. Let me check. 7. How about 7? Okay, 7 is already actually it's already good. Okay, it's already good. Okay, when we have this one. Okay, and then how about 8? 8. 8 is also acceptable. Okay, why? Because our condition is still inside the operating window. Okay, how about 9? Okay, 9 in here, it's mentioned that the condition is below the whipping. So it's mean that it's prone to have the whipping condition. Okay, so what we have to do? Okay, so in order to avoid that one, okay, we have to increase or to decrease the diameter. Okay, for example, 8. Okay. So in the case of the 8, you can see in here, okay, that my tower, yeah, all of the tower has the yellow color. So it's mean that the condition is already good, yeah, already inside the operating window. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any question regarding this evaluation of the hydrodynamic of the column? No question? Is it clear? Or some things that you confuse in one point and you want to ask to me?
I think it's all right, sir.
Okay, ya, clear ya. Okay, so this is the evaluation that usually I conduct, gitu ya, for evaluation of the column. Actually, for the evaluation of the column, there are two types of the evaluation that we have to do. First is the hydrodynamic evaluation, and the second is the performance. Yeah. For next weeks, we will learn about the performance, how to maintain about the purity, and etc. But these two evaluation will be conducted in parallel. So you cannot split it between the hydrodynamic and with the performance in the spirit way. Yeah, if you change the performance, they will also affect the hydrodynamic. Yeah, and then hydrodynamic will this correlate with the performance of the column. Yeah, so again, these two things should be conducted in parallel. Okay, but the presence of this utility from HYSYS, yeah, will help us to evaluate the good condition for the hydrodynamic case. Yeah, so we will know about that whether the operating point is already inside the operating window, safe operating window, outside of the safe operating window. Okay, in the case that the operation is outside of the safe operating window, so we have to change a bit about the, for example, the diameter. Okay, how about if the diameters already exist? Okay, so we have to change about the. In here, you can use the, for example, tray packing. Okay, you can use, for example, this one is the ballast V4, which is type of the valve tray. Okay, this also can affect, can influence the performance of the column in terms of the hydrodynamic. Okay, so we will learn about how to change about the material of the tray. Okay, for example, from the valve tray or from the shift tray to the valve tray, what is the influence? Okay, probably next week. Okay, we will do that one, as well as to evaluate the performance of the column. Okay. Okay, is there any question regarding with the today class?
No, sir.
No? Okay, if there is no question, yeah, thank you for your attention. I think we can stop the class for today. And then have a nice day. And okay, probably next week I will give you a second group homework. Yeah, but it will be next week. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.